Hello and welcome back to another edition of Smackdown Out of 10 right here on the Wrestle Debate. And for some reason we had a tribute show to The Undertaker today because The Undertaker is definitely retiring and this wasn't pointless at all. You can see my enthusiasm for this show, so let's get straight into it. Woohoo, Undertaker! The show started with a video package celebrating The Undertaker's career before we saw SmackDown superstars out in the arena chanting, "Thank you, Taker." We cut to a snippet of Taker's first WWE appearance before we headed to the commercials. Back on SmackDown, we got a full recap of The Undertaker's last appearance with AJ Styles, prepared with short interviews from Roman Reigns, John Cena, Edge, Bret Hart, Kane, Ric Flair, and many others. The OC were part of this match as well, despite not being on television, which was a bit odd. Returned to SmackDown an hour into the show where King Corbin was talking about how Vince gave Taker special treatment and he's been holding stars back in the protests. Couldn't agree more actually. Corbin said he didn't want to thank Taker and said that he sucked before Jeff Hardy came out and whacked him from behind. Not going to give this segment a grade, but I'll give the match between them later a grade. We got a short interview from Angle and Austin about the dead man. Then Hardy challenged Corbin to the match before we got a first match of the show, about an hour and 15 in. Bliss v Cross v Brooke v Evans in a fatal four-way match for the SmackDown Women's title #1 contendership. Alexa and Nikki started off facing Dana and Lacey, but the two were sent out of the ring. Cross turned on her teammate Alexa and tried to pin her. Then Lacey and Brooke returned to the ring before Lacey was in control and Brooke went on top for a senton, but Nikki broke the pin. Alexa Bliss went up to the top and went for Twisted Bliss, but Brooke moved away at the last second, sending her crashing into the mat. Evans was then in the ring and took Brooke down with a women's right before Cross came in from behind, rolled her up and got the 3 count, so she will face Bayley at the Horror Show, because that's a sensible name. Overall, this match was pretty decent, and I don't mind Cross getting an opportunity, so I'll give it a 6.5 out of 10. We returned to SmackDown to see DX giving their thoughts on The Undertaker, before a brawl was breaking out between The New Day, Miz and Morrison, Shinsuke Nakamura and Cesaro, and the Lucha House Party. Then we got on to an 8-man tag match. Big E squashed the Miz on the apron with a big splash early on, getting a 2 count. Then Grand Metalik dropped Nakamura with a bulldog and tagged in Kingston. Morrison was in next and hit Kingston with a nasty kick, sending him to the floor. Kofi then hit The Miz with a Tornado DDT, but Nakamura came and took out Big E before missing the Kinshasa on Kofi. Metalik and Morrison were tagged in and the Luchador almost put the veteran away after hitting a moonsault, however Cesaro broke it up. Dorado then stunned The Miz with the Golden Rewind and Morrison was on the apron, was launched across the floor with a top rope Hurricane Rana. Metalik landed a beautiful springboard elbow on The Miz and picked up the win. The match was alright, 6.25 out of 10. I just don't know why the Lucha House Party keep winning. Are they in line for a match? I don't know. Very strange, but I'll give it a 6.25 out of 10. Backstage, Corbin said Jeff Hardy should follow The Undertaker and retire. He continued to mock the dead man and Hardy. Then the Universal Champion Braun Strowman was in the ring and spoke about Bray Wyatt and his disgusting swamp where Bray was bitten by a snake and all he did was laugh. Braun challenged Bray to a match in the swamp where he threatened to feed Bray to the alligators. We heard Bray's eerie laugh and Braun forced a laugh as well before the cameras cut out and we went to commercials on SmackDown. This is actually really good. I'm going to give it a 6.75 out of 10. This is different. And if it's the Eater of Worlds, then Braun can pick up another victory and continue to look strong. So I'm going to give it a 6.75 out of 10. Really good. Batista and Mick Foley then told us about The Undertaker. Before his main event time, Hardy v Corbin. Hardy was taken out right on the gate as Corbin came in swinging. Hardy sent Corbin into the announce table as the action spilled outside and kept the pressure on as the match went into the ring. After the break, we saw a lot of support for Jeff with superstars all around the ring. Corbin got a few near falls and locked in a submission move before Jeff fought back with a jawbreaker and the inverted atomic drum. Hardy then hit the Swanton bomb and picked up the win as the roster celebrated. Corbin attacked Jeff after the match, but the New Day came in and took him out. They called for Braun Strowman, who hit a running power slam, and then Matt Riddle, who hit a floating bro, a great finish. to SmackDown, really. Enjoyed seeing Corbin getting his comeuppance every now and then. So overall, I'm going to give it 6.5 out of 10. Overall, I'm giving SmackDown a 6.25 out of 10. I didn't really like the Undertaker stuff, but the segments they did do in the second half of the show were alright, I suppose. And I don't know why they did advertise Styles v Gulak and Sheamus Jeff Hardy's toast without giving it. Also, there's no real involvement from Matt Riddle, which made no sense. So some of the show was good, some of it was just odd. But anyway, that's it for today. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Let me know what you thought about SmackDown in the comments below. Link in the description to Twitter for daily wrestling news. And subscribe to my other channels on screen now. That'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace.